Hello and welcome to another video on the Life After Brady channel. Today we're going to take a look at some of the monster NFL deals signed during the pandemic, with the latest ones being Joey Bosa and Myles Garrett signed in the last week. Obviously the salary cap this year will look the same, but next year will be flattened, and we'll see moving forward really how it looks. Continue to be an economic upheaval. We will see what the NFL does, but I've been surprised at how many big deals have got done, but we'll talk about what's got done, why they've gotten done, and what it means for the rest of the league. A little refresher of where we are at. So the NFL was a bit weird. The free agency was about 2 weeks after the pandemic really hit the U.S. So a couple of these deals in here, the Amari Cooper, Ryan Tannehill, DeForest Buckner, those were all free agency deals where you didn't really know what was happening, but you knew things were happening. You knew the NBA was canceled, and these could have long-term effects. So I did keep those in. The bigger ones more the Patrick Mahomes, Chris Jones, Myles Garrett, Joey Bosa, Christian McCaffrey. Those ones that, a couple of months in, we knew salary caps were going to be an upheaval, and they still got signed. They got signed for big money. We'll start with the biggest one. You've heard all the numbers. They're just absurd. I have down here 10 years, $450 million. I've seen the $503 million. All you need to know is it's a lot of money. He reset the quarterback market, did Mahomes, and he's guaranteed a lot of money. I was trying to look, it's like 2024, 2025, I'd say, before the Chiefs can even begin to get out of the deal, because he's got 1 to 2 years left on that rookie deal, and then really 3 years of the new deal are fully guaranteed, essentially. So they're in it for the long haul. He'll be with the Chiefs, obviously, for the next 12 years. No reason to think he won't, for any reason. But he's also, the only guy that has a NFL MVP and a Super Bowl MVP under his belt at such a young age. So no real reason why he didn't get signed. The couple other ones are the ones that are surprising me, specifically the defensive ends. These defensive ends ones really surprised me, I gotta say. These are the deals that are signed every offseason of, he's the top guy at the talent, at the position, young guy, he's going to go get the most money. It happens every year, but it's also when the cap goes up every year, and that didn't happen this year. We'll start with the Chris Jones one. It's the easiest one to understand. He fit in there about 10th to 15th in terms of top defensive lineman salaries, so it's not like he reset the market, 26 years old. He's the top defensive player on that side of the ball. The Mahomes came out and said that, he quote-unquote left a little money on the table for Jones. I get it of it's not like you reset the market. I don't get it of you're a cash-strapped team. This is a team that had like less than $10,000 at one point this offseason in cap space and going to spend $20 million on a top player. That's that one I question a little bit for that reason of how much cap space you're going to have moving forward as guys come up. I think part of what they have here, and I don't know what the Travis Kelce deal is, but they have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I can't pronounce his name, at running back. Tyreek Hill got signed for a relatively cheap deal. It's not like he did huge in the receiver market because of some off the field stuff. He was able to sign cheap. And their defense hasn't been great. The Tyrann Mathieu deal, it's okay, but it's not like it's out of this world. So they don't have other huge contracts that they had to go out and do. So they were able to do him for 20. The Myles Garrett one, I also get to a point, the Browns have struggled for so long, and this guy clearly ended his 2019 season in terrible fashion, but he's a talent. He's an absolute stud. He's an absolute talent. 24 years old. The Browns have struggled for so long to find top guys. You have to sign your top guys. And it's kind of the Cleveland effect of, you have to overpay slightly to get guys to Cleveland. Well, you got to overpay a little bit to keep them in Cleveland too. So that one I get. Maybe you thought it might not reset the market, but we'll see. The Joey Bosa one I question. That one is confusing to me. 5 years, $25 million. 5 years, $125 million. Basically one-ups the Myles Garrett contract. That one I was really shocked by, especially in the pandemic. If I'm the Chargers, with the financial situation, I have no idea what their stadium finances are and all that fun of moving to LA. Obviously, you need to keep top players in the LA market, but if there's a team that I think would be a little tight on cash, not want to hand out much after the Raiders, it'd be the Chargers. So I was very surprised to see Joey Bosa go get this deal. I guess they see Phillip Rivers leave. They let Melvin Gordon leave. You obviously can't keep having guys leave. They recognize him as a top talent and want to keep him around. But I was really surprised to see him reset the market. I mean, obviously the agent did the job there, made sure Myles Garrett got his money, and then basically did the Carson Wentz, Jared Goff thing. Signed a week or two later for just a little bit more. So good for him on that one. Taking a look now at where those contracts fit in terms of total guarantees and then AAV. These are per Spotrac.com. The guarantees are tough. What's guaranteed at signing, what's virtually guaranteed. So that's what this is what's virtually guaranteed. It's basically really hard to get out of the deals for that. And then the AAV, just their average annual value, pretty simple. So these were surprising to me when I looked at it. $13 million more than Donald, nearly $45 million than DeMarcus Lawrence. That is a huge, huge gap. To me, they're playing this that it's a five-year deal. They're saying that, yes, 2021, 2022 might be not the best, but you're going to get the second NFL media deal at the end of this, 23, 24, 25, and they are saying that these contracts are going to be worth it then. But this was very surprising to see these guys get such big deals. To me, though, I would also kind of point out, to me, Bosa and Garrett are better than most of these guys, besides Donald. Donald resets the market. But, Trey Flowers, he's a good defensive end, but he's never been the best defensive end. Chris Jones, very good, solid. Frank Clark, he's most famous to me to jumping off sides. Fletcher Cox, a beast. Fletcher Cox, absolutely a beast. But, again, defensive tackle, he's a little less disruptive maybe than some of these defensive ends that can get that top money. So it makes sense from, to me, a talent and youth perspective, but very surprising to me still just how wide-ranging they were able to get compared to their peers. Lastly, we're going to look at some of the other deals that were signed here. These were more free agency deals, so COVID hadn't had its full effect. You can't really say that the teams knew exactly what they were doing at this point, but they had a pretty good idea. The two running back deals, certainly the teams knew what was happening. So we'll start with Cooper. So this is total guaranteed. Kind of that left-hand column we showed before, and then the AAV. Cooper got 5 years, $100 million to put him AAV second, and then guaranteed fourth. It's the Cowboys. They hand out money. That's what they do every offseason. Tannehill, this makes sense to me when I see Tannehill's deal of 8th and 10th in AAV. That's not 5th. That's not 4th. He's not competing with the Jared Goff, Carson Wentz deal. He's a step or two below that. It's kind of the Kirk Cousins deal, which makes sense. He's when a quarterback has a premier season, he's not a premier quarterback. When a quarterback has a premier season, they get to go do this, and that's what he did. The McCaffrey one, that's kind of the Joey Bosa thing to me. New owner, new coach. We got rid of everyone else. Got rid of Cam, got rid of Greg Olsen. Luke Kuechly's gone. Thomas Davis was gone a year ago. Ron Rivera's gone. You got to keep someone there. Obviously, we don't all agree with paying running backs, but if there's a guy that's going to do everything, it is Christian McCaffrey. He has been healthy, named as an All-Pro last year. It makes sense from that regard. And who else are you paying on this roster? They're not going out and getting other guys right now. Teddy Bridgewater, but that was a pretty cheap deal that they got Bridgewater on. So that makes sense there. Derrick Henry, basically 2 franchise tags, makes sense. And then Armstead, Buckner, Quinn, all just kind of that next scope. I kind of put them on there just for some perspective. They didn't reset the market. They're where they're getting paid where they're at, in my opinion. They're not Pro Bowlers, they're not all pros, but very good defensive linemen that went and got money. So where does this also tell me though? Top guys are going to get paid, no matter the circumstances, which is what the economy is right now too. The top companies in the world are doing well, but the lesser players are going to continue to get squeezed. I think veterans continue to get squeezed here. Guys with rookies deals, they're just going to continue to be more affordable. So you're going to have more of those guys versus paying maybe the 15th AAV, the 20th AAV. I'm not going to pay him as much when I can go get a rookie to just fill the void. So I think you'll see the Joey Bosas, the Myles Garretts keep getting paid, but the middle will keep getting squeezed in this NFL, especially with this COVID situation. And that's where we're at with these salaries. So thank you for joining us on the on the Life After Brady channel. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to the channel, and have a good one.